Hello, drivers. Hello, drivers and fans. It is Pastor Zach Woods here, and I want to invite you to join with me in prayer as we have our invocation. Almighty God, I pray this evening that as we gather together around our shared passion to iRacing, that you receive this thanks. Thank you for blessing us with the technology and means to make connections with those from many walks of life around our shared passions of racing. And Lord, now I pray that you might bless these drivers with patience and wisdom as we traverse this track here this evening. Lord, we pray that everything we do is fruitful and beneficial in your sight. In your name we pray. Amen.
Did you guys know that the state of Texas has many programs to help you pay for your down payment? Can you use down payment assistance to build your own custom home? I have chingos of homes all over Laredo that qualify for down payment assistance. All you need is a 580 credit score to start. So not only is down payment assistance good on new homes, you can also get down payment assistance on used homes. To find out if you qualify for down payment assistance, give me a call, 956-333-2774. I'm here to help you guys out.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Ghost Cup Series, the spooky simulated iRacing league here on iRacing. Tonight is a heartfelt race here tonight on the iRacing service. It's going to be held here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. There is a particular gentleman that used to race in this league. He actually took over the car number for my ride earlier in the season, ran a few races, made my paint scheme look pretty damn good out there on the racetrack. And I have one of his best friends up here in the broadcast booth give us a little taste of what it was like being one of his best friends or that are closest to him. That's going to be Austin Wheeler. Austin joined up here in the booth with me and kind of walk me through how you guys met, what everything was with you and Jonathon, and how do you plan on carrying on his legacy here?
Yeah, man, Jonathon is one of my best friends. We've went to school together. I think I've known him since the 4th or 5th grade in high school, so at least 15, 16 years. We grew up together, same neighborhood, rode the same bus, in the same grade, graduated the same year, fished together, hunt together, went to races together. I raced together. He was and has been an awesome spotter for me during the race, has taught me so many things about racing and how to drive the car, and I just want to be able to continue that for him. And hopefully we can set a good example of that and show his personality tonight out on the racetrack. Everybody watching, I think his parents, Ron and Lisa, watching tonight, and I'll put on a good show for him.
Okay, you say his personality and everything. Way that I've seen him race out on track, he races a little bit like me. He's got that aggressiveness. He's got the competitiveness that you want to see in everybody. Some people didn't like him out on the track. Other people did. I, for one, love seeing him out there on the track because it reminded me of how I used to race. And granted, I've hung it up there to sim rig out anymore. Having that best friend that you get to race with or go to races with, like you said, you guys went to school with. Just having that with you all the way in and through, this has to be the perfect way to have the best friendship that you possibly can. And, obviously, everybody wishes he was still here on Earth with us, celebrating another fantastic year and some more races out here. I know he did a lot of that Smoky Mountain League racing from short track side. I've got to race with him over there. I kind of dumped him here and there and didn't really make too fond of a friend, but then after I took the booth side of things on the Ghost Cup Series, he kind of stepped in and ran my car for me, and I could not be more thankful for it. It sucks that he's no longer here with us, but we're definitely going to honor him. Got the logo showing up on the screen, and you may never know when tomorrow's never promised. It sucks not having him out here with us.
Yeah, for sure, man. He's a guy you can root for. Very competitive, fun to hang around with, and it was a pleasure my whole life getting to be with him. So I'm gonna get the car here tonight and race for him.
That's all that we can do here. Also, we're going to go ahead and let you get back up there with the team chat. We're actually going to follow along with you as you're going to lead these drivers to the first initial 2 pace laps. Everybody's going to be 3 wide behind you, and you're going to be giving the honor salute for 1 full lap in honor of Jonathon BIGIN Carter. And then after that, on lap number 24, we're actually going to take a moment of silence over here on the broadcast side and the racetrack side and give our respects to the fallen racer. But Austin, it's been a pleasure having you up here in the broadcast booth. Again, sorry for your loss, buddy. It's never easy. And everybody here at CRN, myself, Jimmy, Carl, Matt Metler, anybody like that is always going to be here in order. So if anything that you need to talk about or reach out, always send me a message, but I'll always be there.
All right, man. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it, and thanks for doing this for me tonight. It means a whole lot.
All right, also, we're going to let you get on up there. Talking to you again at the end of all the stages.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Dylan.
All right, that's going to be Austin Wheeler, driver of the number 48 machine. But we're going to go ahead and go over some track details here tonight before we get ready to roll off. As edit right now. As we see here. So Charlotte Motor Speedway, 1.45 miles in length. Track temperature is going to be 78 degrees, along with the air temperature is going to be 78 degrees as well. And you see here, we're actually going to get a better camera angle of Mr. Austin Wheeler. He's got that beautiful Jonathon BIGIN Carter crossing heaven's finish line in that number 48 machine. Is never a good sign. Jonathon Carter, 7 gone but never forgotten. That number machine is Austin Wheeler. Drivers round 3 wide salute for the fans. See there, everybody going to be wide. Lights. Start. See there, the Dylan Ellis, Christopher Cash, and Austin Wheeler, the 3 teammates of Austin Jonathon Carter, going to lead the 3 wide salute here. Lap. Austin, a beautiful, beautiful paint scheme. Honor. One of the longest races of the season out here. This is 600. Is everybody going to fall back in? While we got that, we're going to go ahead and go over tonight's race grade. It's going to be Isaiah Sutherland in P number 1, Austin Wheeler in the 2nd. 3rd is going to be Dalton McKinney. 4th is going to be Brock Whitehead. 5th, Patrick McQuaid. 6th, Justin Potts. 7th, TJ Hadley. 8th is going to be Christian Ruse. 9th is going to be Ricky Gonzalez. 10th, Gary Smith. 11th, Christopher Cash. 12th, Robert Gillard. 13th will be Eric Jensen. 14th, Chris Zofield. 15th, Dylan Ellis. 16th, Jonathan Cogswell. 17th, Charles Whitehead. 18th, Chris Roberge. 19th, Jeff Radke. And 20th is going to be Paul Hurst. Tom Fridas being the honorary role here. Can't thank him enough for what he's doing. Is they did extend the yellow flag for the first couple laps, letting these drivers do the wide salute. As everybody's got the new banners on to have the Jonathon Carter logo on their cars. But 390 miles to set the tone here tonight. 4 stages going on out here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Everybody 2 by 2. Gentlemen, wipe the visors, pull the belts tight. One final time, getting ready to go green flag racing. Pace car, Go to drop down into pit lane this time by as they get ready to go. Get the track map up here for everybody. There we go. Pace car going to take a hard left turn into pit lane. Barney the flagman's got the green flag in his hand. Going on green, and we are underway for the Salute the Heroes 390 here at Charlotte. Already going into turn number 1 and 2, Isaiah Sutherland with a little bit of an edge over the number 48. Here comes the number 46, going to be side by side with the number 48. And everybody trying to fight and jockey for position wherever they possibly can as they going down into the backstretch into turns number 3 and 4. Still going to be side by side. Austin Wheeler with a huge run in momentum into turn number 3 and 4. He's going to come out with the race lead and possibly no. Isaiah Sutherland going to take it on over. Is top 2 still side by side. And Brock Whitehead is searching all the way up top on that top side, trying to make something happen. Just not able to do. Is finally Austin Wheeler getting a little bit clear of Isaiah Sutherland. So far, so good. He's going to be able to get credited for leading this lap. Starting lap number 3 is kind of a little bit of a short field here tonight. Chris Hupka not making his start here tonight. Obviously had some other these to attend, so the 5 machine not going to be out here tonight, but he's in the broadcast chat rooting on his teammates. 77, the 14, and the number 98, Chris Robert. Chris Robert in the number 98. 77 of Patrick McQuaid and the 14 of a Christian. Everybody so far jockeying, can't figure out where they want to be at. Is looking possibly 3 wide. Isaiah Sutherland with Patrick McQuaid. Patrick McQuaid's going to duck out of that situation. Doesn't want to hello or editors in a 3 wide situation. But as this race goes on, you're going to see a lot more 3 wide. Everybody's going to try to get their positions as quick as they possibly can and start to save those tire wear into the make it the distance of the stages. Definitely go to watch. Justin Potts in that number 33, making his way all the way up to the front, so far up 2 positions. Doesn't really look like he's gaining much time, but he really is he's looking down to the inside of Dalton McKinney, not able to get there. Back here, Jeff Radke in the 8 machine, sitting it back there. Back, he's up 4 position from 20th, all 16th. Christopher Cash up 1 spot, so a lot of drivers moving up 1 by 1 here and there. Then you have Mr. Ricky Gonzalez in that number 88 trying to make a back up. Back started 9th, it still at number 9. Looking down to the inside of the number 83, the Boone Tractor, Gary Smith. THD paint. We have completed 8 laps out of this 260 lap. Hopefully everybody out there has had a wonderful Thursday night. The live action, live broadcast here, CRN. Again, like Austin said, Jonathan's parents are out there watching, so everybody can put in the chat. Let them know that you guys care about them, that you're helping their family in this time of grief. Never any time losing a loved one. From everybody here at CRN to the parents of Jonathan and Carter, my condolences, prayers to you. right, as yellow flag is going to be out for the first time here tonight. Go ahead and rewind that due to SDK not picking it up, but it's Patrick McQuaid. Happy to see him get a little bit loose. Oh, yeah, he caught the apron just a little bit. That's going to check him on up. And then TJ Hadley getting involved. He's going to get all the way up into Justin Potts. Hard of the outside wall. He's going to be perpendicular to the racetrack. Everybody else is going to be able to move, get out of the way, but TJ Hadley going to get collected and have the majority of the damage to that number. Get it on up is not the way that he wants his race to start. Our first yellow flag of the night coming in on lap number 8. And that is just something you definitely got to watch out for, especially with the looseness. As you've seen, Patrick McQuaid got down there just a little bit too. Got a little bit on that blue and white line. Normally, that blue and white line down there on the inside is one of the lines that has aggressive gripping. It's the most grippiest part of the racetrack, but that time, not. It was actually that one. Tom Freitas out there on the racetrack, getting ready to get out there on the. And Chris Robert, our leader, till we start Chris Robert. Tom Freitas, like he's going to our shoes. Still go out there to himself. But another thing that these drivers really got to worry about is they cannot hit the choose. They end up hitting choose car. It's an automatic or a disqualification. By the receiver. So that'll be something to watch and keep an eye on. With that, if Tom Freitas does come out and put his Lamborghini into the middle of the track and let these drivers do choose rule. You know, one of these days I'm actually going to get my sim rig out, and before the race goes live and we're in qualifying or anything like that, I'm actually going to register for the session. And I'm actually going to throw down a couple of laps for you guys out there watching. It's going to be a little bit different. I'll probably end up doing it at Indianapolis, just because that's my home track. That's a track that I really like running. So look forward to Indianapolis. The broadcaster on live is going to get into the car and run a couple of laps in practice. So that way it doesn't mess up the timing and scoring for the qualifications. But I'm going to get down in the car, going to run a couple of laps for everybody out there to show them exactly how I'm running or what I feel in the car and how the setup feels. So whenever we get to Indianapolis, don't want to miss that one. As I am the reigning winner at Indianapolis. I won it last season in a nail biter. Ran out of fuel as I crossed the start finish line. Couldn't even do a burnout. But that's neither here nor there. Crystal Burge ended up taking the inside of the racetrack, puts Austin Wheeler up on that outside, Isaiah Sutherland down on the inside, and then you have Brock Whitehead on the out. You got Dalton McKinney on the inside, and then you got the Boone tractor number 83 of Gary Smith on the outside. So a top 6 star-studded field is you're going to get ready and go back green flag racing here at Charlotte. We're going to take this time and actually ride on board with the number 48 machine on the nose of Austin Wheeler. Give his perspective of the restarts and how he gets up in and through the gears and goes all the way around this 1.5 mile racetrack. As the green flag is out once again, he's got Isaiah Sutherland down to his inside. Going to try to power around on the out and get it all the way through. He's going to be able to get around Isaiah Sutherland. He's going to set his sights on the number 98. And if I think maybe he just went in to top off on a fuel, because I believe everybody did that but the number 98, which catapulted him up. "17 positions to the race lead, and already Austin Wheeler trying to look for the race lead. He's got Isaiah Sutherland. He's going to give him a nice big shot down the backstretch, and everybody went down low, and that's going to put Austin Wheeler back to the race lead here on lap number 16. Is getting ready to go and to do what we need to do, because they're going to be side by side behind Austin Wheeler. That's what he likes to see, is side by side behind him. He can kind of coast, do what he needs to do. We're going to go ahead and move out to the drone camera here. See it there. Turn number 4 is definitely going to be a trouble spot here for some of these drivers. You got so much wheel into the car that once you get off the banking and onto the flatness, it can actually send your car up into the outside wall, or if you don't hit the wall, you're going to have so much wheel put into the car that it's going to end up making your car loose coming off of the corner. As we see Jeff Radke there almost smack the wall right behind Patrick McQuaid. So far, so good. 19 laps out of 263 wide. Through the middle goes Patrick McQuaid. He had a lift to get out of it. Did not like being in that spot. I was going to check everybody else up behind him, but everybody's going to be able to keep it green. Again, lap number 24, we're going to have a silent lap in honor of Jonathon BIGIN Carter, as we have 4 more laps till that happens. Great racing all the way in and through this race. Everybody being respectful and giving room, doing what they need to do and get it all done. Hopefully everybody out there is enjoying the live coverage of the Ghost Cup Series here on CRN. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe to CRN. If you haven't already, put a thumbs up on the video. Helps us out getting more likes on what we produce up here at CRN. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to CRN, hit the little bell notifications, turn on all notifications so you guys don't miss anything that CRN has to offer, as we have streams essentially all the way throughout the week. I have 2 streams on Tuesdays, a stream on Thursdays, and a stream on Saturdays. We have streams on Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. Nothing, or one on Friday. None. Have essentially a stream every night of the week during each and every one of our broadcasts. But getting ready to start lap number 24, we're going to go ahead and give you guys a little bit of a moment of silence in honor of Jonathan Carter. We'll be right back. As we are back here with the racing on lap number 27, paying our respects to the late driver of Jonathan Carter, who tragically passed away last week. One of the best friends of Austin Wheeler. As while we were away, there was a little bit of a contact. No caution was thrown. Not sure who it was, but they were almost perpendicular to the side of the racetrack. But nonetheless, still a clean and green race. We're gonna go ahead and go over our stage laps here tonight. Let me go on down here and find it, and I'll be able to tell you exactly where it is. Go back up here, regular race info. It's 260 laps, 65% fuel, 5 tire sets, 1 fast repair, 5 green white checkers. Stage 1 is going to be lap number 50. Stage 2 is going to be lap 100. Stage 3 is going to be lap 150, and then a 110 lap dash to the end. So 4 stages here tonight. As right now we are on lap number 30. We're going to go ahead and cut on over to our first official CRN. You love to hear it. We're going to turn our mics off one more time. Turn the engine volume up. I'll let you guys get a beautiful listen to what these drivers can do out here on the track. So we'll be right back. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, from our You Love to Hear It session here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So far, so good. Side-by-side action between the 14 and the number 46 and the number 83. The 46 is going to get pushed out to the beginning, or the lead of the race. Austin Wheeler with the race lead. He's got a substantial gap between him and Isaiah Sutherland. Lap number 43 out of 260 are complete. Stage number 1 is going to end in roughly 7 more laps. High side being worked in there. The 83 and the number 46 both using the high side. Christian Ruse down on the inside, making the inside work as best as he possibly can. Everybody out there doing what they need to do. Christian Ruse is going to be able to get on by Dalton McKinney in the number 46. As we get another nice, beautiful shot. The 46 using all of the wall up there on the outside. Going to be able to carry the momentum all the way down the front stretch. But the man on the move is going to be this guy right here, the number 38. Cash Customs. Jeffrey Radke up 17 positions from where he started out there on the race track. So definitely going to be something to watch with this one. Is Crystal Burge into pit lane this time by. Was not able to make the full 50 lap distance with the fuel. As we have 4 laps to go here at Charlotte. For stage number 1, Jeff Radke getting a better run through the center of the corner. Going to give Isaiah Sutherland just a little bit of just a little kiss on the back bumper. Trying to enhance his position. He's got 4 laps to get all the way up to Austin Wheeler to see if he just can't get on around him. So we're going to follow on board with the number 38. The 38 was my number. Then Jonathan Carter took over the number 38, ran the world famous number 38 for a couple of weeks. After that, went over to Justin Potts. Then is now with Jeff Radke. Jeff Radke trying to find a way around Isaiah Sutherland, cannot do it so far. He gets a really good entry in, but the way that the number 24 is running the lines, he can't get underneath of him. Is down to the turns number 1 and 2. Almost got there. He's going to have a nice little run on the number 24. If he wants to spot, he's got to do something drastic. Not sure how many stage points he wants to have. The 3 extra, or the 9, or the 8. Excuse me, 9 points or 8 points as he gets to the outside of the number 24. Side by side, 2 laps to go in stage number 1. Way up high into turns number 1 and 2. He's going to arc it down and get a beautiful run off the corner, but it's not going to be enough to catch the number 48 of Austin Wheeler. Is going up here. He's got 1 more lap to do it. Austin Wheeler showing his dominance out here for stage number 1, the final lap of the stage. Is everybody going on around? Going to get these drivers slowed back down once we get past the start finish line. But it's going to be Austin Wheeler, aka Wheels, getting the stage win out here. So congratulations to him, as stage number 1 is complete. As we will get with the driver of the number 48 machine. We're going to go ahead and let him get himself down into pit lane, get ready to go that way. Then we'll bring him back up into the broadcast booth for Austin Wheeler getting his pit stop done and over with, and grab our stage one. He is now in the broadcast booth. That's going to be Austin Wheeler, the number 48. Austin, long time no see, my friend. He's getting his car back on the racetrack. Want to jeopardize anything and wreck himself. Back on out there, see if we can get him here for time. Austin Wheeler, this is Dylan in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
All right, buddy. You said you didn't think you had the speed to get it done, but there, towards the end of stage number 1, you started pulling away from the number 24.
Yeah, I might have a little better long run pace. I don't know about short run speed, but we'll see how the night goes on. I mean, if we keep getting some good green flag runs, I might feel a little better about it. So we'll keep putting on a show and see what we can do with it.
Yeah, you know, you said you had a nice little green flag run there. Obviously, Roberge and Chris Oldfield not able to make it all the way to the end of stage number 1. Give or take, I would say maybe fuel calculations about 37, 38 laps, maybe 40.
Yeah, I think we're looking at right around 39 to 41, just depending on how you're driving the car. If you're not shifting, you can probably be a little farther than that, but yeah, you're looking at about a 40 lap green flag run.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I was about right. You know, obviously that stage right there, you ended up taking the tires. You're going to save them for every stage, but also we're going to go ahead and let you get back down there, get geared up for stage number 2, and good luck.
Thank you, Dylan. I appreciate you, bud.
All right, that's going to be our stage winner, Austin Wheeler, as he gets ready to go back to back. Get these drivers lined back up. Austin Wheeler electing to, well, he took the outside for the number 38. And then the 38 going to elect to take the inside. He's going to bring these drivers back to the green flag once we get caught up. Getting ready to go back green flag racing here at Charlotte. Green flag is on out. Austin Wheeler not getting a good restart on the field. But back to green flag we go. As Jeff Radke with the race lead. Go ahead and change it to a different camera angle so we get everybody out there on the racetrack. So everybody can get a little bit of TV time and not just the leader. So far, looking at Dylan Ellis up ahead of his teammate of Christopher Cash. Trying to do what he needs to do and get himself up there towards the front. Still a beautiful green flag racing is Cash Customs in the number 38 or 69. Christopher Cash looking to make a move on a teammate Dylan Ellis. So far, so good. Green flag racing out of this this second stage. Single file racing essentially through the entire field. Everybody giving each other room. Jeff Radke still with the race lead over Austin Wheeler. Austin Wheeler looking down to the inside for the race lead. He's going to take it into turn number 1. Kathy Owen saying sorry for the loss, prayers to the family. 3-car black saying go McQuaid. Hubka out there repping on his team. Barry Kistler, one of the seasoned veterans on the CRN Racing Network, saying good luck drivers. And then Trina White saying let's go number 2 Chris Zofield. A lot of these drivers having fans out there, and if I know anybody that really likes Charlotte, it's going to be this man right here, Ricky Gonzalez, the Pinche of CRN. He's going to try to work his way into the top number 4. But he's got a hungry Patrick McQuaid looking to spoil his plans. Pit stop's going to be at an arise here towards the end of the stage, or maybe these drivers going to split it all in half. Like Austin Wheeler was saying, you can go about 40 laps, give or take, on your fuel sets. Go to see what they do on that side of stuff. Ricky Gonzalez just watching the battles in front of him between Christian Ruse and looked like Brock White or Isaiah Sutherland in Brock Whitehead. But I have 4 or 5 of the You Love to Hear It's here tonight. 1 for each stage. The last stage, but I have potentially 2 You Love to Hear It's. But now it's going to be side by side with Ricky Gonzalez and Brock Whitehead. Brock Whitehead trying to do what he can to keep Ricky Gonzalez on back, but that's not going to be enough, as this field has already started to stretch out on this race. Paul Hurst down here in P number 15, and that number is 57, doing what he can early on the back stretch. Everybody else going through the front stretch and onto turns number 1 and 2. As Ricky Gonzalez able to get clear and start to pull away. Now looking at the number 48 machine, as the end of this stage will end on lap number 100. They go 50, 100, 150, and then a 110 lap dash all the way to the end of the race. Definitely going to be something fun to watch for. And can't wait to see what happens as we're on lap number 70 out of 260. As we are back, sorry about that, everybody. But so far, Ricky Gonzalez has caught up to the race leader of Austin Wheeler. We're going to go ahead and do our second You Love to Hear It. is we'll be right back. As we are back here, 10 laps to go in stage number 2. Looking at the battle between the number 38 and the number 24. Still side by side. These two are side by side. There we go. Able to get clear. Now is the number 24 checking on our race leader, Austin Wheeler. Has a little bit of a gap on the number 88 of Ricky Gonzalez. Buddy tried to keep the number 48 machine, but doesn't seem to be working here momentarily, as we're back on board with the number 14. Well, we were. Now we're on with the number 31. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Would apologize for that hiccup, but we are back here live with the Ghost Cup Series. Stage 2 is not get see how it ended. That one. The app. Getting ready to get these drivers double filed on back up. Get them ready to go back green. Everybody gonna go back into pit lane. hop off on the field, get an extra lap or two of cars, and then bring themselves back on around and get ready for the start of stage number 3. Everybody going down in a pit lane that elected to go down, take some fresh new tires or like that. Looking at lap 104, get ready to start lap number 105. Isaiah Sutherland going to inherit the race lead. Going to put Austin Wheeler back up to P number 2. 9th on the back are all going to be on lap down pace. So drivers back to double file, go to see what they can do. Everybody that ended up taking a later pit stop, go to be single file. Rest up. Green flag is out. Isaiah Sutherland with a beautiful launch off of Austin Wheeler. He's going to go ahead and get clear. Top 4 going to be single file for the most part, getting them all the way in and down. As so far so good for a lot of these drivers. Everybody keeping it clean and green. The only caution that we had was lap number 8 for TJ Hadley, and then the rest have been nothing but the age cautions. Now everybody trying to do what they can to keep it green here on lap number 107 out of 260. Isaiah Sutherland with the number 48 all over his back bumper. I guess we could say Jonathon Carter in front of Austin Wheeler with the number 24. And behind him, everybody just kind of single file. There's a couple of double file going on. The rest all going to be single file. Is Isaiah Sutherland able to maintain the race lead over Austin Wheeler? Back here. but he's still single file. 110 laps in out of 260. Ricky Gonzalez now trying to put his name up into the hat, trying to get on around Christian Ruse. That time, not able to make it happen. Able to keep that spot. Now Ricky Gonzalez, Jonathan Cogswell, Chris Zofield, Jeff Radke, all got to start making their way up towards the front. Brock Whitehead just behind Christopher Cash, but just in front of Dylan Ellis and the number 77 of Patrick McQuaid. All three of those drivers trying to jockey for position. Brock Whitehead likes to see what he likes in front of him and likes to see what's going on behind him. Is Chris Roberge. Chris Roberge making his way up towards the front. A lot of him racing front here as of recent. Hopefully everybody out there is enjoying tonight's race here on Core Racing Network. 115 laps in. Gonna have another caution at the end of stage number 3. Again, coming at lap 150. And that's leading the points is the man in the race lead. Well, was the race leader. It's going to be Austin Wheeler back to the race lead. Chris Roberge looking to make it 3 wide. Thought better of it. Sat behind the number 12 of Eric Jensen. Dalton McKinney getting on around the number 12. 98. 12 of Eric Jensen trying to make his way up towards the front of the pack. Chris Roberge gets a really good run. 3 wide coming off turn number 1 and 2. Going to be able to make it through. And here comes Ricky Gonzalez. Ricky Gonzalez going to take advantage of the slow moving traffic there as well. As now he's got Roberge that is a lap down, not going for position, but he's got Christian Ruse in front of him, trying to capitalize and move way up there towards the front. But there's a nice little battle going on for the race lead. There it is. Oh, gotta refresh because that is not the paint scheme at Austin. You're gonna see white cars out here on the racetrack. Don't mind it. I'll go ahead and refresh my trading paints. That way we get the right scheme color for Austin Wheeler. Coming back on in. There we go. His paint scheme's all up and loaded. Ready to go. As we're on lap number 120 out of 150. 30 more laps to the end of stage number 3. 110 lap dash to the end. Race has been fairly clean all the way in and through. The only cautions that we've had so far are the stages, and then one on lap number 8 involving TJ Hadley and Justin Potts. TJ Hadley finally coming out of pit lane. Not sure what was going on with the number 08 machine, but he's out of the pits now, getting ready to take the stand, I guess you could call it. Still green with 122 laps to go. Or on lap 120. Points leader is going to be none other than the number 48, Austin Wheeler, win at number 6 on the season. Getting ready to capitalize with at number 7 if he can get it done here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Ross Wheeler, what he can, is in 3 laps time. We're going to give you a third. You'll love to hear it in stage number 3. As so far looking field back on the exciting cameras. Brock Whitehead trying to get around the number 46, or maybe the 46 got around Brock Whitehead and is now trying to run away from Brock in the number 31 machine. Then he got Potts along with Christopher Cash looking down on the inside. Again, I don't think Christopher Cash, he is on the lead lap. He is in 10th place. He is the last car on the lead lap. Is Ricky Gonzalez making his way up here? No, he is not on the lead lap. So Christopher Cash looking to be the lucky dog at the end of this stage. Make it worth his while. But while we have some exciting green flag racing going on, we're going to go ahead and turn our attentions over to our third. You'll love to hear it. Be right back. And we are back here with CRN. Thank you guys for following along all race long here tonight for the Jonathon BIGIN Carter Memorial Salute the Hero 390 miles here tonight. Lap number 138 out of 150 for stage number 3. So far, so good. 10 laps to go in stage at number 3. Ricky Gonzalez has found his way up to number 3. Isaiah Sutherland 2. And then all the way up here, halfway through turn number 1, would be the number 48 Austin. Out of the Cogswell, the last car on the lead lap. 6th position. Jonathon Cogswell, he's currently going. He's got some distance between himself and Austin. He doesn't have to worry. Lap down. A pit stop's going to be on a rise as the number 77 is into pit lane this time by, and now the has got to work his way around the number 99 of Dylan Ellis. Isaiah Sutherland and Jeff Radke into pit lane this time by. His stops on a rise as Brock Whitehead makes his way up to the number. Then you have Dallas in P number 2. Stage number 2 or stage number 3 getting ready to get done and over with. Is said and done with everything. Right. One of the more longer races of the season here tonight. Definitely going to be something to watch. Hasn't. But either way, it's still going to be a fun race out here tonight. Austin Wheeler still with the race lead. Or no, Ricky Gonzalez with the race lead now. Wheeler went into pit lane. And then you got Ricky Gonzalez kind of just behind the number 48 as you see him there in your probably not take tires. 7 did take tires, and look how quick the number 57 went on around as Ricky Gonzalez into pit lane this time by. Brock Whitehead into pit lane this time by. We're going to see if Jonathan Cogswell goes into pit, or if he ends up staying out, but it's going to be Christian Roos lead. He's going to stay out one. Christian Roos getting his first laps led under green tonight. 3 laps to go in the stage. Does Christian Roos have what it takes to win the stage? Again, at this, lap number 150 to end the stage. Definitely going to be a fun one. Drew's still out there. Christian Roos coming around to take the final lap of stage number 1, or stage number 3, excuse me. Here with the Ghost Cup Series. Stage number 3 still going on. Christian Roos still with the race lead. Looking to coast and get himself into a position to win stage number 3. Coming across the line is going to be Christian Roos getting the stage win here tonight. Absolute blast watching Christian Roos save the fuel and get the stage win. Hupka's got to be happy for his driver getting the stage win here tonight. Get ready to start the final stage of the race. And it's going to be a 110 lap sprint to finish, so drivers looking to have to pit twice in stage number 4. We go green on probably about lap number 156. So add about 40 laps to that. 156 to 196. Oh, Chris, what happened to Charles Whitehead there? He kind of went left. Yard sailed the car. Definitely not what he wanted to see. Gonna go ahead and wait for Roos to make his pit stop. Then we'll go ahead and bring Christian Roos into the broadcast booth. Get his interview. Get stopped in his box. Stopped that he had grabbed the driver of the number 15. That is going to be Christian Roos. Christian, is Dylan up here in the broadcast booth? Got a copy?
Sure do, Dylan. What's going on?
All right. For some odd reason, you were able to save enough gas and bring it home to finish P number 1 in the stage. Exactly how much gas did you have to save?
Too much. I think we're looking at about 45 laps of tank here, and I was showing 47. I think I went there after we went green, so about 2 laps, and I was going down the pits there with about 0.5 laps left.
Oh, so obviously seems like you have the advantage I guess you could say that the pit strategy here. I mean, obviously you didn't get the first couple stages under your belt. You were just kind of figuring out the track, figuring out your fuel mileage on what you can save. What's it going to mean for this stage to get yourself up there towards the front and eventually a podium finish or a race win?
I'm going to tell you, I'm just going to try to do the same thing, stretch everything as long as I can. Got the stage win here, got the stage win, and stage 2 was able to save enough fuel there as well. So I'm really gonna try to stretch this and see what I can do. I know I don't have the speed that Wheeler and Isaiah have. They're 2/10 quicker than me on any given lap, it seems like. So I've got to try to play the strategy games here and try to come out on top.
Yeah, see, I had a little uh-oh moment and kind of turned off. It got unplugged, but I had to hurry up and get back in here. So I did not know that you won stage 2. So congratulations on winning stage number 2.
Thank you, sir.
And we're going to go ahead and let you get back down there with your teammates and to get ready for this next 110 lap shootout. And we wish you the best of luck.
Thanks, sir. It'll be a long one. Stay tuned. It'll be interesting.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. Going to go ahead and get the number 14 brought back to his team chat. As so far, so good. Drivers get ready to go back green once they get double filed on up. They got these drivers double filed all the way back up in and back to flag racing. Start stage number 4. 155 laps out of 260 are complete. Are over halfway. Got over halfway so far as lap number 1 at 56 getting ready to start here. Giroux with the restart button. He get ready to go on into the Geico restart zone. We are back underway. Austin Wheeler not having another good restart there. Got caught sleeping. As he's going to fall into P at number 2. Right on the box of 14 is already quick work. Those number 48 around the number 14, with 14 going to battle back inside. Top 4 under a blanket. Essentially just throw a blanket over them, let them duke it out, come back out on top. Never know. Going to have the race lead is, Isaiah Sutherland is super loose. Going to get into Ricky Gonzalez. He's going to have a broken tire. Isaiah Sutherland finally looping it on around. That's going to bring out our second caution. Is a big wreck towards the back. A lot of drivers getting involved in this one. As we're going to go back and to see exactly what happened. all the way in and through. Looks like it's between the 14, the or happens here. Oh, Christian Ruse. Not sure what happened there. Maybe tried a side draft. Ended up getting into the outside or into the side of the number 24. But Isaiah Sutherland ended up smacking into Ricky Gonzalez. Ricky Gonzalez ended up having a broken tie rod. Can't get himself off the wall. And then right here, I thought maybe Isaiah Sutherland would have saved it, but with the next gens just unable to save. Throttled it up a little bit too quickly. Right there, instantly got on the brakes, locked him up, stayed in the middle, but some drivers able to get on by the 57. The 69 getting spun around. The 54 going to get tagged. 77 going to get tagged. The 38 is going to lock them up, get involved. Same with the number 12. 57 is going to try to miss it. The 54 is going to hit the inside wall. A lot of carnage for that wreck. As they are all getting their pit stops underway. A lot of these drivers are going to have to use a fast repair, get themselves back to where they need to be in race condition wise, if they have them. Definitely going to be something for two. Is joined in with me is going to be Matt Metler, as he's come on in here for the rest of the race that we have here tonight at Charlotte.
Dylan, what is going on, man? Joining you just as we had some carnage breaking out, look like down at the entrance to pit road.
Yeah, it actually started all the way down the backstretch. Christian Ruse tried to do a little bit of side draft, got into the side of Isaiah, had it saved, but once it got to the corner, the rear end, yeah, I mean, you know, heat up the rear tires, and it's just, you try to get back on the throttle, it's going to throw you each and every way that it can. And finally decided to lock them up into halfway through turns number 3 and 4, and was the big one at this half-mile racetrack.
Yeah, you're right, man. Once you heat up those Goodyears, it kind of turns into a snow ski, along for the ride, if you will. And you know, Christian Ruse is one of those drivers that's famous for having great car control. And you know, you're right, man. Just very unfortunate situation out there on the racetrack. So it looks like we're getting this field racked, stacked, ready to rock and roll once again. No surprise, Austin Wheeler in the 48 machine at the front of this piece. He's kind of picking, or at least I feel like I'm picking right up where I left off before I had to abort competition for a Thursday night series.
Yeah, you know, everybody's been wondering where you've been at, and I've been wondering, and then you finally told me. I was like, oh, that's where you've been. But either way, you know, I'm glad to have you up here in the broadcast booth. My throat's a little sore. I don't know why. I just ended up waking up from a little bit of a nap earlier, and I was like, man, my throat was a little bit sore. But it was great to have you back up here in the broadcast booth. Matt, me and you, we go way back racing-wise. It actually was a part of a league that you broadcasted on over at SRM, and
yes, sir.
it was definitely fun. I mean, we raced in the MSRL. We raced here in the Ghost Cup Series, and you kind of followed me around. It was like, okay, this is how he's doing that. Let me try to reciprocate it. And 9 times out of 10, it's a little bit harder to reciprocate what the guy in front of you is doing. And, I mean, you tried. And I
tried. I did always succeed, but I tried. You know, I always tried to pick the guys out that were quick, and anyone that knows you knows you're FAST out there in competition. But we had a blast racing against each other over there in the Monsters of Speed. You know, racing against the rest of those guys, Titletown Racing, and glad to be up here with you in the booth on the Court Racing Network side of things. these lights now go out on that iRacing.com pace car. Seeing some guys coming over from the truck series, or the Reaper series, I should say. As it looks like Dalton McKinney there going to join the 48 here on the front row. Jonathon, one of my favorite Cogswell, is going to restart there in third. And look who's outside him in row number 2, Brock Whitehead from Whitehead Racing.
Yeah, Brock Whitehead taking a little bit of a hiatus, finally coming on back. He was here last week, now he's here this week. But the 48, 46 going to go into the Geico restart zone. 48 off to the races, hits the go-go juice. Out to a good 3 to 4 car length lead over the number 46 as we had trouble towards the back. So a caution flag already out as Robert Gillard being one of the issues here. Going to see what happened to the number 54. So I don't know if maybe them being in a long line. Oh, the 77. Oh, Patrick. Okay, hold on. Let's.
He got kamikazed by the 77 of Lightning McQuaid. What in the world happened?
Yeah, we're gonna have to rewind this a little bit more. Hop on to Patrick McQuaid's car. Give it a full speed until we get out of the quarter where he's got to slow down. As he's already starting to slow down, you can see the rear end starting to wheel hop. He gets around the first couple of cars, and then once he gets to Robert Gillard, the car just snaps right into Robert Gillard and tried to be a Kyle Busch there, and just did not work out in his favor.
A very rare mistake there by the 77 of Patrick McQuaid. And you want to talk about having no idea a big-time impact is coming? I mean, Gillard's there just minding his own business, and then he looks over Days of Thunder style and has a face full of that 77 coming at him full speed. That is just a wild incident, just as we're getting ready to go back to green flag action, Dylan.
Yeah, you know, you're on iRacing when had that happen to you twice, or maybe you've done it to other people. I know I have. I'm not saying I'm the.
In fact, I think I did it to you once, if I remember correctly.
Kevin Gibney did it to me here at this racetrack over at the HTL side of things. I stayed out after a couple of laps of green, and he was coming around to take his wave around, and I guess my car blended in with the pace car. And he didn't see me and blew my motor. And in that league, you don't get a fast repair. So I was out by a lap 7 out of 400.
Oh, that's tough to swallow, especially as you're a competitor. Obviously, you take your iRacing very seriously. You're always one to be reckoned with, and to have to put it on the hauler, as you mentioned, no fast repair, leaving you kicking rocks out back while everyone else is doing competition on the racetrack. That probably was a tough one to swallow, and if it was me, probably would took some time to get over that as well.
Oh yeah, I had some not so choice words for Mr. Kevin Gibney Jr. there, but we ended up making up after the race, and he apologized as soon as it happened. But it's just one of those things where, you know what, take your lumps, take your bruise, move on to the next week, and that's what I ended up doing. And then I met you again over at MSRL, and we've had our fair share of battles. I know last season in the Ghost Cup Series, you got your first, I guess you could say, official race win, but it wasn't for points or anything like that. It was the All-Star race where you were the best of the rest, and you made up that 17th position on the playoff bracket as the wild card.
Yeah, that was certainly all the stars aligned that night, and I had a lot of team help from Mike and those guys, Zofield, Cogswell as well. And it was funny because the start of that race, just the week before, I think I wrecked a few of us out. And start of the race, Cogswell said to me, "Hey, you know what, Matt? Just put it on the racetrack, don't hit anything, and see where you wind up on the other side." And lo and behold, just everything went right for me, and I won that race. But I couldn't have done it without everyone over there at Sibanovsky Racing. That was a solid team effort, but you're right. That was my one and only win in this series, but certainly a highlight, and think back upon it quite a lot, actually.
Yeah, I was a part of that race until I had to leave and go do a Drivers' Cup race with the Core Racing League. And me and DJ had our elbows out for each other that race too, and ended up getting put onto tempers flared and this and that and all that stuff. So that was actually pretty fun. Me and DJ Daniel go back as well, all the way back to season number 1 of the Ghost Cup series. The kids got some drive in them. It's absolute blast watching them race. But for you, Matt, I gotta know, with it being a tire saving track and fuel saving track, which we have seen Christian Ruse win stage number 2, win stage number 3 here tonight by stretching his fuel from the 40 lap window or the 40 to 45 lap window to the 47 lap window to win both those stages. What's it going to be more important to you? Is it going to be more of tire save, or is it going to be more of fuel?
That's a great question, Dylan, and I think that's really determined by who's out there leading this race and what type of a pace they're running. But there's one thing I do know. It's Charlotte. It's the Ghost Cup Series. And more oftentimes than not, it's the man that's going to be aggressive and on the attack that's going to win these races more oftentimes than not. It's Charlotte. The nighttime is the right time. Austin Wheeler usually has these types of races figured out. But I'm going to say it's going to be the fuel save, but you're also going to have pace. You can't get too far behind. You know how these cars are in dirty air, plus the level of competition at this racetrack. You can find yourself, digging out of a deep hole if you're not careful here. Yeah,
definitely can't dig yourself out of a deeper hole if you're not careful with, obviously saving tires and do what you need to do to make it all the way around the racetrack. Is green, a flag is back on out. The 46 getting a little bit wheel hoppy there. Coming back to the green flag. That's going to allow Brock Whitehead to get a really good run on Austin Wheeler. One of the better runs that we've seen on a restart by anybody trying to go on a by the number 48, but not able to do so. Paul Hurst, Ricky Gonzalez, side by side. Ricky Gonzalez going into pit lane, getting that fast repair taken care of. Christian Root making his way back up through the field. Then you got Jeff Radke, Dylan Ellis pushing up just a little bit, getting into the side of the number 33 of Justin Potts. He's going to be pushed 3 wide. Well, no. I think again, Chris Roberge thinks better of it. He's going to be side by side with TJ Hadley. Now we're getting back to our rhythm of green flag racing.
Yeah, back in the rhythm of green flag racing we are. And I'll tell you what, back just inside the top 10 here around Christian Roos, as you mentioned, on the recovery drive. He is in the hornet's nest right now. You can see him working the low side of the racetrack, eating on the bottom. And then look who's really fighting him here, Card, in that number 2 machine. You can see him getting down into the corner. That car, that Mustang on the high side of the racetrack, not giving him really enough room here to clear up. And that's costing him speed on exit. So we're back to this John Force drag race style special down the back stretches. The 2 going to be able to carry that momentum and get back by Roos, but he's not going to go on the tire saving strategy side of things just yet. He's going to peek it back to the inside, and they're going back to it Trench Warfield style here at Charlotte.
Yeah, knowing how Ruse is, and I know how short-tempered he is, especially with lap cars not giving the room and letting them go on by. Me as a competitor as well. I mean, yeah, if you're a lap down or 2 laps down or whatever the case, just get out of my way. I'm going to give you 3 chances to move out of my way. The 4th chance, I'm not going to be so nice. I'll move you up the racetrack. I'll do what I need to do to get you out of my way if you're holding me up. And that's exactly what the 2 car is doing to the number 88 and the number 14. The 14 is actually going to lose a position to Ricky Gonzalez, another fellow CRN broadcaster. He's going to lose a position to him, and Ricky Gonzalez on his way back up through the field. But the biggest movers so far of the race is a 3-way tie between Dylan Ellis, Jonathan Cogswell, and Jeffrey Radke, and not to mention a 4-way tie with Paul Hurst running in P number 11.
Yes, Paul Hurst runs in P11, as you just mentioned. There's a new name. I haven't seen him out here in competition, but I want to get back to what you were talking about with Christian Roos there and Ricky Gonzalez. I think another driver we used to compete against in the MSRL. But, for all intents and purposes, the 14 had that position, and because he got held up by the 2 of Zofield, he's probably madder than a Keebler elf that got demoted to Fudge Packer, because now that let the 88 of Gonzalez, her position on the racetrack, was able to get by Roos. So now he's got to go and make up even more positions, more track on the racetrack, because he got held up there by the 2. And getting back to your comment there, Dylan, if I remember correctly, if you gave someone 2 chances, I think that was being generous. I could recall holding him up a couple times, and he gave it to me right in the business end, and I was like, yeah, I'm not holding him up anymore. Next time, I'm getting out of the way.
Yeah, you got to have that kind of Dale Earnhardt mentality, especially when you're racing, right? and I'm not saying you're slow by any means. It's like when you got the slower traffic in front of you that's, trying to learn the track a little bit more, or trying to do some kind of strategy to save a little bit more tires, and you already know the strategy of what you're going to do, but you're a little bit more quicker than them. You got to show a little bit of patience. You got to let them figure out the line of the track, or where they want to run. Most of the times, more than not, obviously some drivers will be like, all right, what lane do you want? I'll give it to you, whichever way. But then you got the ones that are like a thorn in your side that want to side draft you, go down the backstretch, pinch you down into the corners, and then finally you just get kind of tired of it. And I know I do it all the time, but I'll back up my quarter entry, let you get back in front of me, and I'll push you all the way through the quarter, and I'll make you move up the racetrack, and I'll take the position that way. But I don't want to hear you come up on the microphone and be like, really? Yeah, well, I gave you enough chances. It was my turn to move you.
Hey, it was assisted quarter entry. That's how I look at this. Not just, hey, I'm just trying to help you get through the quarter at my speed. That's all. I'm trying to help you out here as we continue here to focus on Jonathon Cogswell having a great drive here this evening. Not shocked at all that he is up 14 positions from where he started there in that Dark Horse Ford Mustang, as he currently runs just outside that 5th place position, currently being shown in 6th. And Dylan, as we go back to the front, how about Brock Whitehead here as we go on board that TRD powered machine, stalking the back of Austin Wheeler as he's running just inches off the back bumper as we go into the 3 and 4 complex.
Yeah, go to the turns number 3 and 4. Isaiah Sutherland able to take the race lead over from Austin Wheeler, who's been dominating this race all race long. Normally towards the end of the field run, that's when you'll see Austin Wheeler get back to the race lead, or even therefore keep the race lead, but pull a big distance out. Brock Whitehead, currently sitting P number 3, still has something to say about, letting these 2 drivers pull on away. Is, like you said, and to mention, we are riding on board with the number 31 of Brock Whitehead, as he's following pretty much right in the foottails of the number 48 machine, which I know I'm pretty sure you haven't really been keeping up with the Discord, but tonight's race is dedicated to Jonathan Carter, the guy who used to run the number 38 machine for the Ghost Cup Series. When I stepped out of the car and went up to the broadcast booth, he tragically lost his life last week. 27 years old. As he's crossing heaven's finish line, as Austin Wheeler made this race all about the Jonathan BIGIN Carter Memorial Salute the Troops 390.
Oh my God, this is the first I'm hearing of that now, and I remember racing against him in this series, and that is just tragic. I assume this race is being dedicated and ran in his honor tonight. That's definitely the Chris Hubka way of doing things. And, I know we're all competitors, but at the end of the day, we're all family. And, my God, that is just so unfortunate. And, my heart goes out to his family, loved ones. And you hate to hear about things like that, Dylan. And 27, just so young and so much life ahead of you. But, obviously these guys out there tonight showing respect to one of the guys that used to be out here with us on the track pretty much on a weekly basis. and his legacy will live on here in the Ghost Cup Series as we continue to watch this battle up front between Isaiah Sutherland, Austin Wheeler, and Dalton McKinney. They're your front three.
Then you got Brock Whitehead in P number 4. Jeff Radke not battling for position, but trying to get the lucky dog spot as we're on lap number 181 out of 260. So just shy of the 100 laps to go here tonight. About 78 laps left on the total docket. Brock Whitehead getting right up on the right rear, or left rear quarter panel of the number 46.
He almost brocked the 46. I can say that now. I'm not down there on the racetrack. He loves doing that. He'll get you right there, just offset on the back bumper, and he'll get your car doing all kinds of things he didn't think it was able to do. It'll start squirting sideways, brake traction. Brock is so good at that move and doing that to you out there on the racetrack. And I guarantee you, McKinney's doing everything he can to get away from that 31 right now.
Yeah, I mean, you know as well as I do, Brock is one of the heavy hitters, the juggernauts of the league. Obviously took a little bit of a hiatus, him and his brother Trey not being here tonight, going to miss this week and next week, as well as they're both going to be on vacation. But Brock Whitehead out here trying to do what he can, finally getting around the number 46 and getting clear. Going into turn 1 and turn number 2, he's going to run the middle lane in 1 and 2. He's going to diamond it down to the inside just a little bit. Doesn't want to get down towards the apron as much as he likes to, as Dalton McKinney does that side draft just a little bit more than what Brock was doing. They're going to be pulled right back side by side coming out of turn number 4.
Yeah, out of turn number 4, these two are dogfighting each other like it's 2 laps remaining. And Dylan, I know you were talking about tire saving. These two are doing anything but that right now. At first, I thought the 46 of McKinney was just going to let him go. Perhaps a veteran move. Sometimes you got to know when to go, or otherwise, you know, also on the other side of the coin, sometimes it's better for your strategy, you know, and when you're looking at the finish line, to let another competitor or a car go. I thought that's what he was going to do, and he may have thought better of that challenge he was putting up against the 31 of Whitehead as he now clears for that 3rd place position. But Dylan, when you're racing side by side, door to door, especially at a place like Charlotte, you're not helping those good years at all, especially with the lap times these guys are running right now.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely not. The more you run side by side, you're not getting down to the proper line that you want to be at. So you're burning that right front tire off a little bit more than what you want. Maybe you like the top side a little bit more, like Brock. Brock might like the top a little bit more than he likes the bottom, so maybe that's where he wants to be. How I attack practice, and I can't stress this enough. I mean, Matt, I don't think I've ever told you this, but when I do practice, I'll take that whole hour and a half of practice and I'll run the low line. I'll do 30 laps on the low line, I'll do 30 laps in the middle, and I'll do 30 laps on the high line if there is a high line to be used. And I'll compare the tire temps, and I'll compare the tire percentage. Then I'll have somebody go out there with me, and I'll run the top, you know, running race trim laps, trying to battle as hard as I can. I'll run to the bottom with 1 lap, or run the top, and I'll run the top, or the middle, and I'll run the top to see what my car can handle, what it cannot handle. And then on top of that, I'll practice green flag pit stops. Green flag pit stops are probably 9 times out of 10 one of the worst things that somebody can get through that doesn't practice them in practice. And then when you get a race kind of like this one, where it's green flag, you're not going to know when to let off the throttle, get on the brakes, and get down to pace speed. So practicing your green flag pit stops is a major deal here in league racing.
You know, you couldn't have said that better, and that was something I didn't give enough attention or give enough respect to. If you remember back to last season, I believe the track was Rockingham, when I set it in there full send and took out the water barrels on the entrance to pit road and made a big horse's potato of myself. It was that point that I said, Matt, okay, you got to work on your green flag pit stop game. And I've been working on that, putting that into my regimen each time I try to go out there. and at least to compete in the league racing. But that's some great insight from you there, from a driver's perspective about, going out there and running stints, the low, middle, and if there's a high lane, and just having that understanding of what the race car can and cannot do and how much that'll help you, in a race, in a green flag race situation. I'll certainly take some notes here right now, and I'm going to start applying that moving forward as we start to see this battle between Dalton McKinney and Brock Whitehead wind down. I mean, those guys were putting on a clinic fighting up against each other, but I think Brock may have burned up his stuff a little bit as Ricky Gonzalez there, who's up 9 positions in 4th, is closing in on that 31. And Dylan, last time by, Ricky Gonzalez ran a 30.69 to Brock Whitehead's 30.95. So the 88 clearly faster than the 31 right now.
Yeah, currently faster than the 31 as of right now. And Matt, you know as well as I do, it's one thing to be faster than the person in front of you. It's another thing to get around them cleanly. And Brock Whitehead is not going to let Ricky Gonzalez have this battle super easy. He's going to fight him tooth and nail. That's just Brock. That's just what he does. But he keeps it clean. He doesn't go down and door you. He doesn't run you dirty. He doesn't do anything like that. He runs it as fair as he possibly can. Is still side by side for the P number 3, Ricky Gonzalez with a slight little bit of an edge, almost a little bit of a door tap there. Beating and banging all the way across the start finish line. These two, no love lost as it looks like. But Brock Whitehead still out ahead of the number 88 on lap number 194 out of 260.
This looks like a Friday night short track feature special between Brock Whitehead and Ricky Gonzalez. I mean, you want to talk about side drafting. Look at the way Whitehead comes down and just inches off of the 88, able to deploy that air brake. Oh, they make big time contact. That's going to make the 88 go helicopter mode, the 31 into the wall. And Dylan, this could result in tempers flaring as we got a big time caution out on the racetrack.
Yeah, big championship implications for some of these drivers is we're going to go back and look at the quick CRN replay here. And it's all going to start in turns number 3 and 4. Ricky Gonzalez gets a little bit tight. He's going to move up the racetrack. That's going to get them two together. That's going to throw Brock off of his line because everybody knows if the car below you gets a little bit tight, pushes up into you, that's going to make the car on the outside tight. And you're going to see Brock go up towards the outside wall. And he's going to end up making contact with that outside wall. And it's going to result in him having too much wheel into it, looking to the left. And there it is. He hits the wall. He comes down into Ricky Gonzalez, which you said goes into a helicopter mode. There it goes into a helicopter mode, spinning all the way around. Brock Whitehead getting the worst damage of it all. Head-on collision to the outside wall. And then you got Ricky Gonzalez kind of tapping it here and there. Looks like he's got a little bit of toe link issues with that wreck. And Ricky Gonzalez already using that one fast repair. So, I mean, we're going to have to see how long that damage is going to be taking on that number 88 machine as we are under our 3rd yellow flag of the night, minus stage cautions.
Big time implications out there. The racetrack as championship drivers are certainly impacted from the latest caution out there. The racetrack, as you can see, Brock Whitehead. There's going to be the 12 of Eric Jensen, I believe, on pit road as well. You see the 88 of Ricky Gonzalez, who was involved, all coming down pit road, going to have to make necessary repairs to their race car. Dylan, obviously, if you're the 31, well, let me put it this way. Both drivers are going to feel like they're wronged, but ultimately what this comes back to is patience. Sometimes you got to race the racetrack and take what it gives you. And that hard side-by-side racing, while these drivers are very capable of doing it, sometimes it just takes one little thing to go wrong. And in this case, it was the 88 getting a little aero tight on the bottom that potentially, unless these cars have fast repairs in their back pocket, which I'm unaware if they do, could have big-time implications on this race for them.
Yeah, I wouldn't with how hard they were racing, I can't really say, I'd be mad at the situation. Yes, you're going to be mad because one of the drivers are going to get the EOL for causing the caution, which if race control goes back, I honestly, not to be biased because he is a CRN broadcaster, but I would have to put it all on Ricky Gonzalez. I mean, if Ricky Gonzalez did not get tight and push up into Brock Whitehead, that caution would never came out, right? So you, as a race controller, you got to be as honest as you possibly could be. You got to be on your toes no matter what the conditions may be as well. So you got to call it how you see it. Me personally, I would say that Ricky Gonzalez caused that caution. Others may see it differently. They would have said, "Oh no, Brock hit the wall, kept turning down into him. That's what caused the caution." Well, go back to what I was saying. Ricky Gonzalez getting a little bit aero tight, pushing up into Brock Whitehead. There you have it with your caution. But Ricky Gonzalez using his fast repair earlier in the race after Isaiah Sutherland and Christian Ruse got together, causing a caution and putting Ricky Gonzalez into the wall. So Ricky Gonzalez is going to have to go into pit lane, use all the repair time that he can inside the pit road, and then come back out and hope his car's as fast as it possibly can. As in 2 more laps, Matt, we got 60 laps to go, and it's going to be an absolute dogfight to the white flag.
Well, that's exactly it, Dylan. You guys at home think this race is hot and heavy. Now, you ain't seen nothing yet. It's about to get real on the racetrack as these laps start to wind down. And getting back to what, your comment, Dylan, I think you hit the nail right on the head. You hate to be biased, but sometimes you got to look at the whole picture. It's a lot more than the 31 hitting the wall and coming down and clearing out Gonzalez. It all started where the fuse got lit, and that was the 88 getting tight, coming up into the 31. That was the catalyst that pushed him into the outside retaining wall, and ultimately, which made him come down the racetrack and make contact with the 88. Very unfortunate situation, but certainly could have been avoided just with a little give and take out there on the racetrack. That's one of those things I've learned about, in the Ghost Cup series. You just sometimes, as aggressive as you need to be at times, it's okay to give and take a little bit to avoid moments like that out there on the racetrack.
Oh yeah, for sure. Obviously you got to do what you can, and obviously those 2 drivers are super competitive. They're going to do everything they possibly can to have an edge over the rest of the competition. And everybody going to catch back up to the pace car. And looking at Ricky Gonzalez's car, it essentially looks brand new. I mean, pit road did an excellent job getting the majority of that damage fixed on that number 88 machine. He's going to be right behind the only driver that has done anything is going to be Brock Whitehead. So these two are going to be back to being right in front and behind each other. But it's going to be Austin Wheeler and Isaiah Sutherland going to lead these drivers back to the green flag. The 48 is going to have control of the restarts through the Geico restart zone. Christian Ruse right behind the number 48. We are back to green flag racing here at Charlotte. Taking lap
Green
number
flag.
200 is Isaiah.
Lap number 200, green flag back in the air. These glorious V8s come roaring back to life as it looked like the 48 may have checked the field up just a little bit there on the restart. However, the 24 of Sutherland has been able to best. Oh my God, Austin Wheeler. I thought the 24 was going to hold on for the ride there, but he scooped up that Camaro at the last second and got it pointed back straight, Dylan.
Yeah, big block by the number 24 machine. Not sure why. Especially with 60 laps to go. Right there, I would have been like, all right, yeah, you know what? You want the lead back? I'll go ahead and give it to you. Learn to fight another day. Luckily, the 24 didn't get spun or the number 48. So we're still under green flag conditions. But still going to be a dogfight between these two as Christian Ruse making his way back up to P number 3. Jonathon Cogswell up to P number 4, up 12 positions from where he started. So Jonathon Cogswell doing what he needs to do to keep himself relevant in this race. As single file for the most part, green flag pit stops already or during that caution, they ended up taking those their pit stops as Austin Wheeler still sitting at P number 2, Giroux in the 3rd, Jonathan Cogswell in 4th, and Dalton McKinney in P number 5. But while we have some more green flag race, we're going to do one of the two. You love to hear it in the final stage. We're going to turn the mics down, turn the engine volumes up, let you hear these beautiful V8 engines rumble through Charlotte Motor Speedway. We'll be right back. As we are back here from our, you love to hear it. Looks like Paul Hurst going to get into the outside wall just a little bit over Brock White, or no, Jonathon. Yeah, it was Paul Hurst. Paul Hurst getting into the wall in front of Brock Whitehead. Brock able to get on by, but it's going to be Austin Wheeler with the race lead over. Oh, big car crash going towards the back. Looked like Ricky Gonzalez once again. Not what he wants to see. This is not going to be good. His tempers are definitely going to be flaring. We're going to have to go back and look and see what happened to the number 88. Taking off with a CRN slow-mo replay. Looks like the 57 going to come down. And, Ricky Gonzalez and the 57 meet in the middle. 57 hard to the outside wall. Same with Ricky Gonzalez up on his side. Gets it back down on all fours. Yard sale from the number 57. Yard sale from the number 88. So if anybody in the fans out there in the YouTube chat wants to get an autographed piece of memorabilia, go on down to the number 88 stall. He'll have it autographed with Texas A&M or Texas Tech all over it. And, go get you some signed souvenirs from tonight's race of that number 88 machine, as if he's not going to be one of those happy campers, as his race potentially could be done here tonight before it even essentially got finished.
Yeah, I'm getting a report that some of the fuel injectors are still raining down in the grandstand, so some of these people not even going to have to go that far to get pieces of that race car. If that was an absolutely violent collision there with the catch fence, and then you've seen a little X Games competition there, as well as the 88 is going to go up on top of the 57. That was just a violent impact. And unfortunately, there we go.
Yep. Tempers flaring right there between these two. And Ricky Gonzalez not happy, which, at the time, I wouldn't be happy either. He's showing his displeasure, gave him a little bit of a bump, a little bit of a brake check for the number 57. But one great thing that a great racer can do is if you give him a little bit of a payback like that, you expect a brake check, and Ricky Gonzalez expected it. Moved to the outside, and he missed him completely. But Ricky Gonzalez not one to really want to be messing with. Is Ricky Gonzalez hopes of winning the Oak race here tonight is shattered.
And, from a talent standpoint, definitely a driver that can win this race, Dylan. You and I both know that. He knows how to get it done out there on the racetrack. And remember, not long ago, he had that incident with the 31 of Brock Whitehead. So you add that to the equation, and that is, like you said, is one unhappy camper in the cockpit of that 88. Certainly, that was not self-inflicted at all. He's just out there running his line, and the 57 just unfortunately got it wrong and completely smoked that ZL1 Camaro. You see the front of that car is absolutely gone. It is MIA. Already having to use a fast repair, to your point. This night is effectively over for Ricky Gonzalez, and a driver that is certainly capable of winning the race. Unfortunate, you hate to see it, but that is racing at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's going to be racing at the end of the day, and I've been in my fair share of that stuff happening to me and getting into wrecks, like Greg Wood's dad at Las Vegas intentionally wrecking me to burn up my fast repair, and it just sometimes it happens that way, other times it doesn't. You just got to pack it up, group, come back the next week. Obviously, you always want to finish every single race, right? You want to maximize your points. And Ricky Gonzalez not able to do it here. Obviously, he's on a part-time schedule this year, work. But either way, still going to try to get everything done the way that he needs to do and get himself in a position to where he can potentially make the playoffs if he wins the rest of the way out of the races that he races. But it's definitely going to be a tough feat to do with the Wheeler and that number 48 machine, who's won 6 races so far out of the 20 that we've ran so far, somewhere around there, maybe.
Yeah, 21, 22, maybe somewhere in that wheelhouse. But I mean, how about that from a Rookie of the Year contender as well? Austin Wheeler has certainly had the wheels underneath that race car each and every week to, put his name out there, ones to watch early in this league. In fact, I had him circled like week 2 of the series. He was very dominant back at the when we started the season, speed weeks at Daytona. And you know how it goes. A lot of people say, hey, if you put it on the racetrack or, no skills at super speedway, quote unquote. Very next race, number 2 of the season, he was right up there challenging for the win again. And I knew that kid was something special early on in the season. And for him to show up here and have 6 wins in the bank, he's looking like the Jimmy Johnson of old in that 48 car when he used to own this place, about 10, 12 years ago, Dylan.
Yeah, it's definitely something to keep an eye out on. And my guy who I had, winning it all, the regular season and especially the championship, was Ricky Gonzalez. I know Austin Wheeler was up there in the top, I would say 5. Brock was in my top 5, and then obviously Trey as well, and then Christopher Tate. That was my top 5 originally, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, Austin Wheeler, he's a force to be reckoned with. He's knows what he's got to do to make sure it gets done. But getting ready to go back, green flag racing, on the gas pedal he goes. The number 48 going to be able to get clear of the number 24, going to drop all the way down to the inside, block that little bit of a run that the 24 was getting, and he's going to maintain that race lead as Mettler looking up at the lap time, or laps left. Part of the inside wall. No! Oops, it down on the inside. No caution is going to come out for the number 48 machine. Going to get it backed up, get it back going. It definitely not what you wanted to see from a race leader of the number 48.
I want to apologize to Austin Wheeler for invoking the broadcaster's curse, as I was just sitting there pumping him up moments ago before his car took off and went absolutely possessed out there on the racetrack as he was battling Isaiah Sutherland for the lead. I thought he had it gathered up, then the car broke traction again. Those Goodyears obviously were really hot at that point in time, Dylan. No caution on the racetrack, and he just out of nowhere put himself in a huge hole here late. Is now Isaiah Sutherland almost has a second advantage over a surging Brock Whitehead. And don't look now, but look who's in third, Mr. Podium, Jonathon Cogswell.
Yeah, Jonathon Cogswell up 13 positions from where he started. He's looking
Jonathon
to
Cogswell there.
Go ahead.
Up in that third place position, just trying to help you out there, brother. Well, Christian Roos consistently moving up the scoring pylon, as well as he is now the second biggest mover of the race, up 15 positions where he started. And then how about Dylan Ellis in the top 5, 999s across the board, up 9 positions, the 99 car. So thank him for your pick 3 lottery numbers here this evening. If you win on those numbers, you give him 30%. That's how it works. So he almost made some contact there with Christopher Roberge, I believe, there in the 98.
Yeah, almost making contact there. He's going to follow Christian Roos on that high side. And, one thing I have not seen from any of these drivers is they're not trying to position their car into the corner, except for that time there. Dylan Ellis kind of cutting the nose off of the number 98 machine to get on around him and Roos all at the same time. So 2 for 1 through 1 quarter. But what I was getting ready to say is you're not seeing somebody follow, or whenever they go into the quarter, they're putting their nose exactly behind the rear end of that car in front of them. And that's where we're seeing most of the aero tightness coming around from these cars. Is Chris Zofield had a little bit of a brown pants moment there going into turn number 3. But you would think if they followed nose to tail like that, Matt, they would be super tight. But it looks like they're not getting tight at all.
statistically, just how this car produces downforce in the next gen, you're right. You would think that the worst thing you could possibly do is run someone's line, textbook style. All that's usually going to do is going to make you burn the tires off your race car. You're not going to get around them. And then eventually your car is just going to fall off and not have the performance. And then next thing you know, you're holding on for dear life until you get a chance to bring it down pit road. But that's a great pickup there by your point. You don't see a lot of offsetting or positioning your car to your corner like you would typically see at a 1.5 mile racetrack.
Yeah, and me being me and noticing how tight you can get behind somebody, I always made sure to get the left front in clean air or the right front in some air, so that way it can help rotate the car. And I think the only person that I've seen do it so far when they're behind some traffic is got to be Austin Wheeler or maybe even Isaiah Sutherland. But watching Dylan Ellis and Chris Roberge right now, Chris Roberge kind of getting that right front out of clean air or into some clean air, but not really much. He's still getting a little bit tight. Obviously, it's not for position over Dylan Ellis, but it's still one of those moments where, I'm a little tight, but how do I fix it? And, not understanding what the cars do, say, or you don't know what tight feels like. Some of these drivers may not know that, riding right behind another car is going to get them aero tight and push them up into the wall. They might think they're overdriving the corner, and that's what's helping them do it. But in reality, it's how close you are to the car in front of you, what that dirty air feels like across your nose.
I'll be honest with you, Dylan. That was the only way I won this race last year in the All-Star race was because of that invert. I just happened to be at the right position at the right time. I was stuck in that dirty air, just like you were talking about. And at that point in time, I was trying to follow the guys that I thought were fast, and I was trying to mirror their line to a T, not understanding that it was just making me, all sorts of tight and everything else, throwing the kitchen sink at the race car, burning my stuff up. But once I got the invert and I got into that clean air, it was literally like I had a different race car. I'd feed wheel, the car would turn, it would set in the corner, I could get back on the throttle, and I had all this grip that I didn't have when I was 15th, 25th, in the running order. And then on top of that, I had some great teammates at that point in time that were up there near the front that certainly held a lot of these faster guys up that made it possible. But you're absolutely right. I could not agree with you more. The worst thing you can do in this next-gen car is run the exact same line that the guy that you're trying to run down in front of you. You're just going to burn your stuff up in no time. You do have options here at Charlotte, especially it's a night race. The track is cooler. You can really make up some time on the high side of this racetrack here. In fact, I've seen you use that line and be very competitive with it here.
Yeah, obviously Charlotte's more of a mid lane to kind of bottom lane aggressiveness, I guess you could say. And the top lane does work. We've seen earlier in this race, Jeff Radke was using the super way top Larson line, I guess you could say, to get all the way around this racetrack, and he was picking up a lot of positions. But as the tires wear down, you want to kind of stay away from that wall. As the car's not going to want to turn as much or as good as it used to during the beginning of the run. But already, just like that, we're 19 laps to go here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Isaiah Sutherland is still with the race lead over Brock Whitehead back here in P number 2. Then in third position, have Jonathan Cogswell, Mr. Podium. And then in fourth, you still have Dylan Ellis. Fifth, Christian Ruse. Sixth is going to be Eric Jensen. Seventh is going to be Dalton McKinney. And running out your 8-car field that is on the lead lap is going to be Austin Wheeler, Jeff Radke in 9th, Chris Zofield in 10th, Chris Roberge in 11th, Paul Hurst in 12th, PJ Hanley in 13th, 14th is Dallas 15th, Justin Potts 16th, Robert Gillard 17th, Patrick McQuaid 18th, Christopher Cash 19th, Charles Whitehead 20th, Gary Smith.
Gary W. Smith rounds out the 21 cars that took the green flag here from the heart of NASCAR country in Concord, North Carolina. Right now it's a show being put on by Isaiah Sutherland in the 24. as he's currently walking it out almost 2 seconds now over Little Jackass, a.k.a. Brock Whitehead, a nickname given to him by his father, and I absolutely love it. Hopefully he's not listening to the broadcast and he starts laughing so hard he wrecks himself, because I almost did that to him one other time. But Christian Roos, now here's a driver here that last I remembered really likes this racetrack. He was very strong here last season in competition, as we see him making a move there on the 98 machine. Currently finds himself in that 4th place position, but Dylan, he's about 1.4 seconds back from Brock Whitehead. As he catches a piece of the wall there, so that car's starting to get tight off entry, or tight on exit. Dylan, what can you do here as a driver at this racetrack to try and correct that issue? What can you do as a driver to help try to get some more performance in that race car and get that thing to turn better off the corner?
I mean, honestly, it's going to be backing up your corners just a little bit in what you are doing now. Obviously, with Brock and Jonathon Cogswell up at the front, in front of a Christian Roos, kind of doing a little bit of a battle. Jonathon Cogswell getting around Brock Whitehead. Brock Whitehead already essentially has burned up those tires as of right now, so he's going to lose that position, but it's going to be wanting to back up your corner entry. Stay off throttle as much as you possibly can. You're going to lose and sacrifice just a little bit of time, but you're also going to pick up time with your tires being a little bit more fresher, a little bit more healthier than the guy in front of you, as already Christian Roos is running 30.66. Brock ran a 30.83. So already Christian Roos still faster than him. Christian Roos ran a 30.5, 30.8 for Brock Whitehead. So Brock Whitehead really on the chopping block now. He's losing a lot of time to the number 14.
And I was just going to say, this is where a wheelhouse where Roos also excels, in my opinion, and that is over the long run. He's really good at saving those Dr. Feelgoods from becoming Dr. Feelbads, per se, and you hit the nail right on the head with the lap times. He is coming. He is running down the 31 of Brock Whitehead. As we see now, Ricky Gonzalez climbing back into the picture. Apparently, Dylan, he must have had a fast repair in his back pocket in that 88, as he's currently being scored in that 14th place position. So unfortunately, not enough time to take advantage of that quick repair for the driver of that dark horse Ford Mustang. But Dylan, if I may, one thing that would completely make you crumple up the notebook and chuck it out the window is a late race caution. Absolutely. We re-rack and restack this field on top of each other. And remember, the 48's still on the lead lap. That could have a wild outcome to this race if that should happen.
Yeah, you already know Austin Wheeler's praying for a caution to come out. Both 10 laps to go, not really much battling going on. I mean, the biggest battle that we have so far is going to be between these two right here, the 31 and the number 14, Christian down on the inside. But Brock Whitehead going to do what he does best, going to be a little jackass. He's going to pinch the number 14 as much as he can, and you've seen it there. Christian Roos got a little bit tight once again. It got up into the number 31, and this is where it comes again. He's getting tight. They're going to door each other just a little bit. Brock's going to move all the way up the racetrack. Doesn't hit the wall this time like he did with Ricky Gonzalez. And lo and behold, the person that's behind these two battling is Ricky Gonzalez. So Ricky Gonzalez obviously doesn't want to stay out of the fight here, and he looks like he's got nitrous on the number 88 machine because he's still up to speed. The car looks brand new. He looks like he's ready to go. If he was on the lead lap, that for sure would be a good looking battle, as Christian Roos ran the 31 up high in turns number 3 and 4. Christian Roos still not able to get clear of the 31.
No, these two are stuck together as now the 14 comes back down on the inside again. He's going to send it in on the bottom. Well, the 31 of Whitehead's going to run the top shelf where Mama hides the cookies as they rumble down the backstretch. You know, Ricky Gonzalez could pick a car here and perhaps help push them by, but given what just happened to the 88, he probably doesn't want to wad that dark horse up again. And while this is happening, this is allowing DJ Hanley in that 08 to climb into the picture as well, Dylan.
Yeah, letting TJ Hanley climb up in here. So you got a 4-car battle, but only 2 cars are battling for the position. Is getting a little bit more tight. It's going to be the number 14. And at what point do you sit there and finally come up on the mic and be like, dude, let me go. I'm getting tired of you. And another little bit of a door scratch there between the 14 and the number 31. At this point, if I'm Christian Ruse, I'm doing what I was saying earlier. You know what? Go ahead, take that lead over me. I'm going to just help you, assist you through the corner, as one broadcaster has said to it. I'm going to put a name on it.
Hey, good to go with me there, brother. But, hey, look, it's pretty much 5 laps to go. At this point in time, these drivers have switched that internal switch to they're seeing red inside the cockpit of that race car. Give and take, that is over. Gentlemen's agreement on the racetrack, that's done and over. These two are in it to win it right now. Both these drivers are not going to give an inch, and you can see it just out there on the racetrack. This is currently either the 3rd or 4th lap that they have been side by side, door to door at over 170 plus miles an hour. Oh, there they go again.
Brock Whitehead. Oh my Lord, the tables have turned, and you know what? And mark my, I said it. Did I not say it? All right, give him the bumper. He didn't give him the bumper. He gave him the side mirror. He gave everything to him underneath the kitchen sink. But who does this benefit? The number 48.
48.
Who's going to go down and take that faster pair, some fresh Goodyears, if they got them, the 48. We're going to have a firework show running here tonight, as we don't really need to go back and watch the replay, but we got to go back and watch the replay because it was just an amazing battle. Here, side draft, getting a little bit touchy there. Christian Ruse, side draft, and it sucked his car into Brock Whitehead there. Not sure. And I've noticed that the car that's trying to side draft gets sucked into the car on the outside or the inside, whichever way they're trying to side draft. And championship implications for the number 31 with a little bit of a yard sale there. And probably not a real happy camper with himself or with the number 4, and vice versa on the track.
In the words of Phil Collins, I can feel it coming in the air tonight. We just seen this when I joined you on the broadcast. Brock Whitehead, got his arms 10 and 2, gritting his teeth up on the steering wheel. And a side draft gone wrong once again, but now this time the 31 is the guy with parts raining into the grandstands this time late in the race. Championship implications again. You hate to see that for the driver of the 31. You hate to see that for Roos. Clearly, as they're exchanging some words right now out there on the racetrack. Well, it's 2 big-time drivers that just pretty much, for all intents and purposes, took themselves out of competition. I'm not sure how bad the damage is on that ZL1 being piloted by Christian Roos, but you can look at the aftermath on that 31. The front of that car is spent.
Yeah, the front of that car is spent there. You see the right front tire pointing pretty much the opposite direction of what way he's turning. He's got a little bit of a camber into that number 31 machine. Obviously, these 2 drivers doing what they needed to try and make it, their wild to race as hard as they possibly can. Both going to go, looks like not going to go in a pit lane and fix that damage.
Whoa.
As you already know, the 48 is going to go in. And is this a good move by the number 14? Well, no, because he's going to have the EOL penalties. Going to start in the back. I don't know.
That was my big question. Who did get the EOL penalty? So thank you for that, Dylan. So obviously, Bruce has got to go to the back anyhow. If it was me, I would have came down pit road. If I got 4 fresh ones laying in my pit stall, I'm going to put them on that race car and give myself every opportunity I can to get back through the field. And remember, we have overtime at our disposal, and we got many opportunities to utilize that. I think we can go up to 3 instances of overtime, if I remember correctly, here in the Ghost Cup Series. So if I was the 14, I would have put 4 fresh tires on that race car.
Yeah, 4 fresh good on that number machine, but ended up staying on out. 31 is now out of pit lane. As I would assume Christian Ruse got dealt with it. Well, I'm not 100% sure. Just I can't. Driver Chad got all that stuff. I mean, looking at the wreck, it looked like a little bit of door banging and shot Ruse's car down just a little bit, and then he side draft again and just kind of overbearing power brought them both together there towards the very end. And these two, Brock Whitehead did not have a fast repair.
Oh, that is gut-wrenching for the 31 camp. And I can confirm by looking at the black box here, Dylan, Christian Ruse was indeed given the EOL from race control for that incident that just unfolded moments ago here late at Charlotte, as we're currently at lap 260, which means, ladies and gentlemen, we are going into overtime. Dylan, it's about to get real in the field at a whole other level. And while we're at it, look who just happens to be back in fourth place.
Yeah, looking at fourth place driver right now, that's going to be the number 48 of Austin Wheeler. We have 5 green-white checkered attempts. This is where you're going to make your money. I mean, if you get a really good launch out of nothing bad happens to Austin Wheeler like he did last time, but that's just luck of the draw. I mean, you got a half of a new front row. You got Dylan Ellis up here too. Then you got Isaiah Sutherland. On third is going to be Jonathan Cogswell. Austin Wheeler. Fifth is going to be Eric Jensen. You got 2 juggernauts. 3 juggernauts.
Right. 3 juggernauts.
24, the 27, and the 48. The 99 and 12 just kind of want to get together, kind of chill. Green flag, though. Austin Wheeler going to drop all the way down to the inside. He's going to lose a couple of positions there. He's going to lose it to Jonathan Cogswell. And now here is where you're going to want to get spicy with it. How aggressive do you want to be?
You got to have that aggression set to 110, set it to kill, whatever you got to do. And that's exactly what the 48 is doing as he turns it hard down to the bottom, Eaton on the inside. Going to make unfortunate quick work of the 27 of Cogswell as he's got 4 fresh Goodyears underneath that 48. And last time by, Austin Wheeler just ran a 32.38 compared to Sutherland's 32.61. This could be shaping up for an epic finish at the start-finish line, Dylan.
Yeah, looking at it going down the back straight away. They're wrecking down the back straight, but it's not going to matter. Through turns number 3 and 4, Austin Wheeler with a big hit to the back bumper of the number 24. Who's it going to be? Side by side, possibly looking to further crossover. Isaiah Sutherland getting a little bit loose, but it's going to be Isaiah Sutherland getting the race win over Austin Wheeler here tonight. Just an absolute photo, or not a photo, but absolute phenomenal finish to the race. Austin Wheeler obviously wanted that for his best friend, Jonathan Carter, but you can't be too mad about it. You won the first stage. You finished in P number 2, final stage. And man, oh man, what a race all the way back to the start-finish line.
Man, you talk about don't stain your ride, use tide moment of the race. When Austin Wheeler comes up there and just donkey punches the crap out of Isaiah Sutherland, I swear to God, he didn't lift to the 48. I thought he was going to wreck big, but somehow the 24 able to keep it pointed on the racetrack. They made contact again, and Sutherland able to best Wheeler to the start and finish line. That was absolutely ludicrous on the final lap, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was an absolute phenomenal finish all the way in and through. I wouldn't have turned it out to be any better. I mean, that was absolutely beautiful. I loved every single minute of it. As we're going to go ahead and get our third place finisher in the broadcast booth, Colton McKay. CML, so we're going to wait. I guess we'll just start with the race winner. That's going to be Isaiah Sutherland. We'll go ahead and bring up our race winner. There's going to be Isaiah Sutherland in the number 24. Isaiah, this is Dylan and Matt Mettler in the broadcast booth. Got a copy.
Yeah, I got you.
Ooh, a little bit loud, but, well, buddy, you won the longest race of the night.
Yeah, wow, what a race. First and foremost, this race was for Jonathon tonight, Jonathon Carter. I know Austin was really, really good friends with him. So prayers go out to that family. This is about them tonight, so no burnouts, none of that. Had a wonderful battle with Wheeler. That dude was so quick tonight, especially on the long run. He knew how to save his tires there, and yeah, heck of a battle. I hate the last restart. He got loose, and as soon as he got loose, it checked us up, and I got into the back of him, and I definitely did not like how that was going to finish there, but it was awesome that he was able to get that caution, and we battle it out there. So first and foremost, prayers out to that family. Austin, they're great friends there, and definitely appreciate that battle in that race there.
You know, touch base about the battle and obviously all that, and I mean, it was pretty much an Austin domination all night. You know, obviously first stage, then Chris Roos came in, won the second and the third stage, and then like you said, the start that kind of that caution for himself kind of helped him out. You know, obviously he front, but what more did you need? Were you nervous about going into turn 3 and 4 with him having so much of that speed? Because I mean, he was 3 to 4 tenths a little bit quicker than you for those final 2 laps.
Yeah, I definitely knew early on in the race, whenever I figured out, I was trying to figure out how the heck everyone was saving tires around me, to be honest. This car was so tight, and I figured something out just by following Austin. So later on in the race, I was able to restart beside him and get the lead, and lead a pretty good amount. And even when he was catching me at that point, I was able to manipulate the air. I think that was a really big deal tonight. But even then, he was just so strong. And so I knew on that last restart, whenever he got loose, that I needed to try to get around him as quick as possible, because the 38 laps that was remaining, I think I could have held him off. You know, and then you saw what happened. He got loose and everything. But yes, definitely on that last restart, I knew in the back of my mind how quick he was on those set of tires, especially on a long run. And so I saw the run that he got coming out of the corner of turn 2, and I was expecting something. I was waiting for it. And so he threw it in there real deep, and that's his prerogative. I mean, that's what we're racing for Jonathon tonight. I don't care if I got wrecked and put in the wall. We're racing for Jonathon. That's all that matters. That's all that matters tonight. Someone lost their life last week, and we wanted to put on a good show for them. So I was expecting that, and boy, what an awesome finish it was. So heads up, you know, straight up, Wheeler had the race tonight. He definitely did, but it was an awesome battle there at the end for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely a great battle. Isaiah, it's been a pleasure having you up here on the broadcast booth. Anybody on that ride you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, always. I got to take this opportunity to thank my good Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. None of us would be here without Him, without God. So all the glory and praise to Him. He is such a merciful God, and we got to be so thankful for that. Austin did a wonderful job tonight. Everybody in the league did good. It was a really fun race, so shout out to everyone in the league. My mom and dad, my family, my fiance that tunes in and watches. If they're still awake, it's a late one tonight, so they might still be awake. I don't know. My Uncle Gary watches. My teammate Eric Jensen, we're with RFC Racers for Christ. Big shout out to him tonight. He did a wonderful job. Yeah, and I got to shout out Sutherland Used Cars. It's a used car dealership in Northwest Tennessee. In Union City, Tennessee. Look them up on Facebook. Virtual Academy, that's police training for officers online. You can sign up at subscriptions.virtualacademy.com/sign up. And you guys in the booth, you guys do a wonderful job, and all the fans that tuned in.
All right, buddy. Well, we're going to go ahead and let you get on out of here. Celebrate that race win here night at the longest race of the weekend. Hopefully tonight. We're gonna go ahead and let you get out of here, and we'll begin hopefully.
10-4, we'll see you, Dylan. We'll see you, Matt.
Our race of Isaiah Sutherland. We'll go ahead and grab our second place finisher. That's going to be Mr. Austin Wheeler. And Matt, I think it's better that I did all the talking for the race winner. I think it's only fair that we let you give our second place finisher a.
Austin Wheeler, Matt and Dylan up in the booth. You got a copy there, Hotshot.
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
Hey, man, good to talk to you again there, Wheels. Hey, man, you pick it up right where, at least for me, when I left the series, up here contending for wins once again. Before we get to that restart in overtime, take me back to that restart before the carnage unfolded. When you and the 24 were racing each other, there was a little bit of contact. Did you think right there at that moment, that's it, your night was over? Or did you know, hey, man, if I just stay in this race, I'm going to catch a break, there'll be a caution, and I'm going to have another chance to put on one of the greatest finishes I've seen at Charlotte in a while?
Yeah, the problem is the guy doesn't lift. I don't understand why I don't get the same respect I give to him in racing, but I stayed in it because it was on my car tonight. Any other night I probably would have just quit and said screw it, see y'all next week. But I got lucky there, caught a caution. And it gave me a shot, but I mean, we were all on old tires, and I hit my fast repair there, of course, with the green white checkered, but I gave it everything I had at least. I tried the best I could for him.
Yeah, man, and certainly you left everything out there on the racetrack. Take me through the final time through the 3 and 4 complex. It seemed like you sent it in there 100%, fully committed, didn't lift. You make contact with the 24. He's somehow able to save it. You guys exchange paint once again, and you have an epic finish at the start-finish line. What was going through your mind at that point in time? Was that everything you had, or do you think if you had another shot, you could have got to him maybe another lap or so? Because you were certainly faster on the scoreboard as far as the times go.
Yeah, I mean, if I had another lap, I wouldn't even attempted that because I would have been there and had a fair battle. I was too far back to do anything anyway. I mean, I didn't lift until I hit him, but I drug brake going to him. I'm not a very good, dirty racer. I'm sure if I would have stayed full foot and didn't put any brake in it, I probably could have turned him, but I just wanted to move him, but that did not work out in my favor. I said I gave it my all. I really wanted to win this race tonight, but I can say I gave them all. I'll say that.
Well, you certainly did, man. You put on one heck of a show once again up here, at least for me up here in the broadcast booth. And man, before I cut you loose, who do you want to thank? Who helps you get it done on the 48?
Yeah, man, I want to thank the whole league. They've been great to me this week with shuttling with the loss of my buddy and everything. So I really appreciate them. Doing the banners, and Noah Owens doing the logos and making the paint scheme, and Dylan doing the broadcast, you doing the broadcast. Y'all had the thing in the very beginning. We did the little tree-wide salute, and Huck could put a banner on for everybody to run a decal on their car for my best friend Jonathon. So it was a pleasure. It was awesome. I hope his parents got to watch the race live. It was great racing for him tonight.
That was certainly a great race and an effort from you, as you said, your best friend. And I am so sorry for your loss and for the family's loss. I just found out about this tonight, moments before I jumped in the broadcast booth. I've kind of been occupied on Thursdays, but man, you drove your heart out there for him. And I know he's looking down proud of that performance you put on there for him, man. And that's exactly what Austin Wheeler does every time he is inside the race car. He's going to get you the best he can possibly get out of that machine. Each and every time he straps in, he comes home here just a little bit short, but puts on one heck of a show. That is the driver of the ZL1 Chevrolet Camaro, Austin Wheeler. Dylan McDonald, back to you, bud.
All right, finally here. Sorry, I had to step away and take care of some stuff, put some dinner away. But okay, let's see. Did he shoutouts?
Yeah, he's all cleared up. He did a shout out. He is good to go.
All right, buddy. Well, Austin, once again, condolences to your best friend. Wish you all the best of luck moving forward. Wish you was still racing on this service with us. Want to thank everybody out there who is tuned in to help celebrate the life of Jonathon out here with Austin Wheeler's beautiful paint scheme of that number 48 machine out there on the racetrack. Also want to thank you for allowing us to put the logo on a stream all race along. No matter what happened up there, every single minute of the race. Can't wait to see what you do for us next week. And we're going to go ahead and let you get on out of here, Austin. Celebrate that second place finish. And we'll be in next Tuesday.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I'll see you on track next week, Dylan.
All right, that's going to do it for our second place finisher of Austin Wheeler. Obviously, we can't get a hold of Dalton McKinney here as of right now, but, or actually, I found him. Got one more interview, Matt. One more.
Let's do it up.
Here we go. We are now joined by our third place finisher. That's going to be Dalton McKinney, the number 46. Dalton, this is Dylan and Matt Metler in the broadcast booth. Got a copy.
Yeah, how's it going?
Oh, long time no see, old friend. Lucky Dog Racing League to follow me everywhere. You don't leave me alone. But nonetheless, buddy, you come home with a solid P3 here tonight. Get that McDingers number 46 machine up into P number 3. You had a battle of adversity, though, all throughout the 390 miles of racing here tonight, but can't be too bad with a top podium finish.
Yeah, it ended up working out. I wish everyone chose so late on that last choosing restart that I ended up picking the wrong line because I couldn't count fast enough. Everyone kind of went last second, and if I would have went to the top there with my fresh tires, I think I would have had a pretty good chance again up front. But yeah, it kind of got hung up there between some slower cars, and by the time I got cleared, it was just too late.
Yeah, obviously not being in your favor there, but you still can't be mad about it. I mean, obviously you finished podium here at the longest race of the year at Charlotte. Next week you got the All-Star race, so it's not for points. It's at Charlotte once again, so are we going to see redemption for you out there at Charlotte next week? Are we going to see you capitalize on a win?
Yeah, I like this track. Wheeler's really fast. Austin Wheeler, he was quick, and so was Sutherland. I think they had just more speed than me. If maybe if I can get some strategy my way and end up with some fresher tires at the end of this thing with maybe a few more laps, then yeah, I don't see why not. But if it's just by lining them up, and if everyone's on fresh stuff, I got a lot of work to do to catch them guys up front.
Yeah, obviously that's such a hard thing to allow there, and obviously I choose a little late. And obviously you have to use a little bit more of your tire wear earlier in the runs, and especially on the green flag or white checkered, having to fight and claw around the older tire drivers. But nonetheless, I mean, a top 3 finish here tonight. But Dalton, before we let you get on out of here, if there's anybody on that number 46 machine you'd like to give a shout out to, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I like to thank my girlfriend for letting me run these things 2 or 3 times every week. Want to thank Johnny Williams for always having a good paint on these things. He always has me looking sharp, and I figured I'd throw on the Johnson paint since he had some success at this track. And didn't quite win like he'd probably be able to, but looked good nonetheless. Thanks to Johnny. Thanks to everyone in the league. Thanks to everyone that puts it on. Thanks to you guys in the booth, and to all my teammates. And yeah, hopefully a little better. We can get up there a couple more spots next week.
Yeah, definitely going to be something to watch out here tonight. But no, we're going to go ahead and let you get on out of here. Celebrate that 3rd place finish. And I'm getting word there is no All-Star race next week. Straight into Indianapolis next week. So that's going to be something fun to watch here on a CRN. But we're going to go ahead and let you get on out here. Celebrate that 3rd place finish. Talk to you again next week.
Thanks, man. Have a good one.
All right, that's going for our interviews here tonight. Matt, I want to say thank you for jumping up in the broadcast booth with me here tonight, calling the live action from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Indianapolis next week. Love Indianapolis. Oh, I wish I could race. I could race all day, every day. It would be Indianapolis. I would never get tired of it. I don't know why, but I can't watch Indianapolis. I can't watch it.
Believe
iRacing,
me,
it's different.
go ahead. Let me cut you off there.
Oh, no.
I was just going to say, to your point, man, if I can find someone to cover for me next week, I would definitely make a return just to go run that racetrack. I'm with you there 100%. But it's great to finally break with the ice with you here on Core Racing Network. Glad we had a full length. I believe this was the longest race of the season for the Ghost Cup Series, guys. So great to come over here with you and call some great racing action. You know, a lot of new faces here in the series, but love to see the growth, the new up-and-coming all-stars, and, you know, like you mentioned, the juggernauts. Great to see a battle down to the wire. Reminded me of Terry Labonte and Dale Earnhardt Sr. back in the day, between Isaiah Sutherland and Austin Wheeler going at it. And then you had just the high-flying, high-octane action with the 31 of Brock Whitehead and Ricky Gonzalez. Just never a dull moment here in the Ghost Cup Series, and glad I could be up here in the booth with you.
Yeah, definitely. It was a blast having you up here. That's going to conclude our race here tonight. Charlotte, up and down. Get ready for Indianapolis next week. Can't wait to see what these drivers bring a hold of us next week with Indianapolis Oval, not the road course. It's the big rectangle. But that's going to do it for myself up here in the broadcast booth for CRN. My name is Dylan McDonald, joined by Matt Metler. Make sure you guys take care. Brush your hair.